So it's 2 days later, and I felt like I had to redo all of this segment because honestly, I wasn't very happy with the way that the demo part went when I first recorded this video. This is not the type of device that you just pick up from the get-go. I feel like there's easier devices where you can just learn as you touch. I couldn't even play the built-in projects that the device had just to give you like a glimpse of what they sounded like. So I learned a little bit of this device. I was able to create like a small beat and everything. I'm not going to show how because I haven't learned the workflow yet. It's not that it's hard, it's just different from what I'm used to in the Digitakt or the SP404. So I just thought that I would come back and just show you like a few projects, what it sounds like in terms of the stock sounds and everything. I would show you the punch-in effects. I would show you the mic, which I will bring up later, and some random thoughts. This is just, first impressions, but not very serious because I haven't had enough time with the device to form like an actual opinion. So for now, I'll just play some stock sounds. Yeah. So of course, this is a reggae-inspired device, sampler. So all of the stock sounds are related to that in some way. Of course, you can replace it. What I'm finding is that it's actually pretty cool to use them in a non-reggae way. They work really well because they have like these old feel, so they work with different types of music, but whatever's here is actually pretty cool sounding. Let's move on. Yeah, this is just a glimpse of the punch-in effects. They are really, really fun, by the way. If you want to mute certain parts, it actually works in reverse from what you expect. You cannot mute, you can solo. And what that means is that if you want to mute the drums, for example, you have to go ahead and basically solo everything else. So if you consider the drums, the bass, the melodic parts, and then whatever samples are there, those are the 4 groups that you can see here. So, like I said, it's a different way of thinking about the beats, and in terms of composing and everything, it's really immediate, so that's pretty good. That's what I want, that's what I was looking for. But then it has like these different ways of handling certain situations that you have to get accustomed to, I wish that it had like an option to mute, especially if I wanted to mute like specific parts of the drums, like only the kick and not the whole group. That would be awesome. There seems to be no way to accomplish that. But all devices have their own compromises, and I guess that's one. Maybe in the future, in an update, they can enable some kind of way for us to mute. But what you're supposed to do is basically to create different patterns of the drums, for example, and kind of switch around for ones without one part of the beat, like for example without the snare or without the hat or without the kick, and you circle them around. You can create, there's a song mode, so you can create a song with all of these parts, and you can switch quickly to the different patterns because this number system works also to select patterns, but you have to know them by heart. So either you create like a structure where pattern 1 is, for example, just the kick, pattern 2 is kick drum, and pattern 3 is kick drum and hat, and so on. Either you create such a system so you can basically ground yourself in the different projects that you have in, or you kind of just fly it and don't do it. Just mute everything. Yeah, but the flow, like, I really like the sounds. Like I said, I love the sounds. I'm really digging. I thought that the first things that I would do with this device would be to just replace everything that he had in terms of samples. But I'm finding that they work for different genres, and it's good to have that flair, that aged sound. So yeah, pretty stoked about that, and it still has space. So what I think I will do is just select a few of the normal KO2 sampler, like the EP-133, because I know that the samples on that device are really cool as well. So maybe I'll just put some of these here using the web-based sample manager, and reserve some of the space for other things that I can sample from other sources, from other devices, like a synth or whatever. It's not something that I typically do. My workflow usually involves, getting stuff like samples that I do on the computer or that I download from somewhere else and feed it to the machine, and then break it off, like change it, mangle it there. But that's something that I want to change in the future. Anyway, where are we? I really like the hat. I really like the hats that you use here, because if you know Justice, Let There Be Light, it's the same hats, which I believe that they were sampled from DMX drum machine. I believe that's the brand, and I really like those hats, and I was surprised to hear them here actually. Yeah. This is the random punching effect. And honestly, I'm yet to understand how it works. I saw online that it's called random, but what it does is basically replace either the notes or the samples with something else, and sometimes it's useful to create variations, fills, whatever. It's random basically. Now Project 7. That guitar is it's fire, as the kids say nowadays. And that bass here. Yeah. This random effect is like it's so cool. Now, Project 9. Yeah. Let's see if there's I haven't checked this. Is there a project in 0? Okay, there's no project in 0. And neither of this. Like, yeah, there's only 9 slots basically. Okay, so let's put something. Let's put something cool here. Which one did I enjoy the most? I like this. Put it lower. So yeah, like I said, the sounds that I hear, they're pretty cool. I think even if you don't want to screw around with other samples or anything, I think you have, regardless of what type of music that you make, I think that you have a lot of material here to do something that you like, right? About the device itself, like I said, creating a beat is easy enough once you learn once you get the gist of it. It works a little bit differently than a device like the Digitech or whatever. But once you do, it's kind of fun to just mess around. For example, a big feature of the EP series, and actually a big feature of the Pocket operators, is the punch-in effects. And basically, it's like a collection of effects that you activate by pressing a button combo. Like, for example, here you have... This is like, how do you say it? Like this is not a stutter effect, but it's like a tremolo kind of effect. A gate. This is a gate, right? This is the pitch down effect. This is a bit crusher. This is a low pass filter. This is the high pass filter. Number six. Number six is basically, it has, besides the punch-in effect, it has like a master effect that you can apply to the current project that you're working with or in. Unfortunately, it's one effect for all the groups that you see here, right? You have four groups for the different sounds, and each one of them you can select how much of it goes to the master effect, but you can only choose one effect for everything here. It's kind of a bummer, but whatever. And what the punch-in number, what the punch-in effect number 6 does is basically it exacerbates, it sends whatever group you're using it on to that master effect. Like, if this is only applicable if you have like a delay and it's not all the way sent to that master effect, but if you punch it, it's going to send everything there, you know. And on here we have a stutter, right? Number 2, it's like a vinyl effect to pitch down, but it also affects the speed and everything. And this is like a LFO kind of low pass effect, right? So besides just applying the filter, it's also applying an LFO to make it like a pulsating kind of feel, which is pretty cool. We have the random effect on number 0, and I can't remember if these have effects as well. All right, there's a punch-in effect on here as well, but I don't really understand what it... I mean, I know that it's affecting the pitch, so maybe it's just a pitch modulation for everything. Let me see if Enter has them. It does. But it's not working right now, so I'm not sure what this is. I know that I made a beat where this worked as a stutter-like thing, but it's not working right now, so it might depend on master effect. So yeah, sorry guys, it's one of those things. I haven't learned much about the device yet, so what I do plan to do with these, and in fact to help me learn about this device, is actually create an iceberg kind of video like I've done with the Digitech and with the Microfreak and also the circuit tracks, to kind of explain, because honestly, the manual for this from Teenage Engineering is not the best thing ever to learn the device, I am finding out. So I might as well just create my own documentation and using other resources for the EP-133, for example, which has been released with more time and has more information out there. Then this is basically just an iteration of that. So yeah, I'll for sure create that kind of video for this. But back to the punching effects. One really cool thing about the punching effects is that they are pressure sensitive. And I think the best way is to use the best way to show you is to use the low pass filter. You see how, I don't know how much you can tell on camera, but like I'm pressing less and more of the button, and it's affecting how much the effect affects the beat. And I think this is genius. This is a really cool idea. There's only one thing, one tiny thing. You have to really smash that button. By the way, smash the subscribe button. Why don't you? You really have to smash that button in order to get like the full effect of the effect, right? Maybe this is something that they can change in an update, something that you can customize, because you can customize how much the velocity affects or how sensitive is the velocity of the pads when you're creating beats, but you can't affect the velocity when you're using the punching effects. And I think that's a bummer. I would like to see a way to customize that, because I feel like you can tell that I'm really pressing down in order to get like the full effect, you know. And but that's a side thing. And these pressure sensitive modes, they affect almost all of the punching effects. So for example, for the gate, it affects how fast it happens. Same thing for the stutter. Yeah. And it also affects the pitch down. It affects the modulated filter. So really, really cool feature that they have here. I believe that for live performances, this is great, you know. And I've wondered about performing live with this. I'm hoping that I can create some beats and place them in a way that makes sense when I play the different projects together or whatever. Because I feel like to do some small things to friends or whatever, this would be a very fun device to play around with, you know. Just putting on the beats and kind of mangling them live with an effects to use for transitions and everything. I think it would be pretty cool. I still need to learn about that, and hopefully it'll work out. But I'm stoked about that. I'm stoked about that. Even though it looks like, and let's face it, it kind of looks like a toy. The output jacks here, they're just 3.5 jacks. They're not like the full-blown professional grade 6.25. I think that's what they're called, or 635, whatever. Well, yeah, like overall, it must be fun to do like some light live, whatever, some light live action with it, you know. What else can I talk about? So I think I could show you some of the stock sounds, and for that I think that I'll change to the thing that I was working on, which is this. So this is more the kind of stuff that I do, right? I love that bass. Anyway, in in terms of sounds, what you can do is, like, for example, if I want to add some kind of sound here, like each one of these pads can have a different sound, right? Let's change the sound on number 0, for example. You use this. And the sounds, the samples, they have like a numbering system. From 0 to 100, they're the kicks. It doesn't mean that everything has a kick from 0 to 99, actually. But it's kind of like a way to segment the different types of sounds. So the 100s, they have the snares. Then the 200s have the hats, and so on and so on. These are some of the snares. And as you can see, like they all have like this age kind of sound. And I know that's also because of the rhythm itself, because the way that it encodes the samples, it's not like with full quality. I don't know how to explain it. It's because of its sample rate. It's not like recent machines that sample everything at full quality, full CD quality. You know, it applies a certain because it changes the sample rates. And please correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But because it applies in a lower sample rate, like older Akais, for example, it gives like this grit, this texture to the sound. It makes them sound aged, and I think that's also contributing to this type of age sound that we're hearing. These are the hats. So a good mixture of just drum machine and real hats. These are toms and other types of percussion. These are so cool. Then we have the basses. Nice selection of bass samples here. This is like melodic stuff. More melodic stuff. Just vocal samples.
It's sticky pie.
This is just random samples, I think. Feels and stuff. Yeah, and then we move on to the supertones. And the supertones is like it's a special feature of the rhythm that the normal EP-133 doesn't have, because it has a synth engine included. So it's not just samples. You're able to actually play the synth engine here and create some and use the synth patches that are already here. It's not, I wouldn't think of this like a full-blown synth, because you can customize it, at least not as of now. You can create your own patches. You're basically given like 9 different patches of synths, and then you can tweak 2, more, because you can change the envelope, for example. But in terms of actually changing the characteristics, you only have like 2 things that you can change. Like, for example, let me see. All right, so let me activate key mode. Okay, here I'm changing the pitch. I'm changing the pitch and also the amplitude. But if I move to main, I was in sound mode. If I move to main, I can change the tone and the age of this particular patch. Okay, let's go back to this and let's change to another one. And in this particular patch, you can change the cutoff and also the resonance. And this is not a sample. This is like an actual synth patch that you're using. So the sound is basically endless. Going back, another one. And I have to be honest, I really like the sounds that they've placed here, because they sound usable. You know, when sometimes you're using a synth and the sounds are pretty cool, but you feel like, oh, I'm never going to use this in anything. But I feel like this can be used in some actual musical context, you know. This is the one that has the unison in this case, like its parameter 1 is cut off, and then it has also unison. Another cool thing is that the sounds can be played in either monophonic or polyphonic way. Like you can actually create codes. I don't know if I have that mode activated right here. No, not for this one, but I think that other ones here will have that. Okay. This one is a bass patch. I love this one. Yeah, and this one can be played in, so chords can be played here. How many voices? At least 4. Yeah. And then, you know, there's 9 different patches, and later on it gets like there's types of sirens and everything. But the ones that I've shown here, I think they are the most usable ones, and it's great. You can also sample these and then use them in other contexts. You don't need to use only the synth as is. You can sample the synth and then tweak it around, resample it with some effects on it, for example. So it's a pretty self-contained device, you know, and that's pretty cool, because my intention here is to just carry this around. I bought like a really cool bag. So I bought this on AliExpress for like 30 euros. It fits the EP snugly in there. It's great. And I've also 3D printed these feet. So I don't have like back pain when I try to use it for a while. And these are easily removable, because I don't know why, but the usually Teenage Engineering devices, they have like these Lego things, like Lego slots that you can use, and you can put like Lego stuff here. Don't ask me why. Even the pads, I've learned today, for example, I can remove this. I won't right now, but I can 3D print a different cap. And the connector is just like the Technic, you know, the cross from Lego Technic. That's it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like I wanted this to be like a portable, self-contained thing that I could just play around. And if I want to have fun with some friends, I can play some beats or just take this on the train and create some stuff on the fly. The fact that it's battery powered, It's pretty cool as well. So for now, I am actually happy with the way that things are going. I'm still learning how to use the Riddim, but so far so good. The last thing that I think I want to show you is the microphone. So just a second. So the TingFX, as it is called, it's this plasticky looking thing. And it's actually a multi-purpose device. So the first thing that it does is basically it allows you to sample your own voice if you want. So it acts like a microphone, right?
Hi. Yeah. So this is working. This is my voice, and let me see. There's no effect being applied right now, right? Let me see if I can raise the volume. Yeah. So yeah. And you'll see that input, yeah, it's mono. Oh shit! I activated the horn, and this is actually a fault with this device that I see, because let me show you one thing.
The placement of the button to activate the sample is right here. So if you're holding it right like this in order to talk, well, your palm is it's gonna press the button, right? I imagine that if you're live, or you really have to be careful with how you grab this thing, or else you're gonna be activating the sample or one of the samples all the time. But whatever. Let me show you some of the effects.
So this is just normal voice with a delay effect. It's really messing with my brain right now. Anyway, this is the voice. And one thing that is really cool is that the lever that this has is actually pressure sensitive as well. So the more you press it, or the less you press it, it affects the actual effects that you're using. I don't know if in this particular effect, it changes anything, but on this one, it definitely does. So the less I press it, or the more I press it, the more it acts like this type of springy reverb, you know.
What you heard right there was the third effect, and it applies like a robot or a high pitched effect to your voice. And the last one is this.
Hi, I heard that you like pizza. And here as well.
Here as well, the more you press the lever right here, the more it pitches up your voice. And the less you do it, the more it pitches down your voice. It's a pretty cool gimmick. I guess it's cool to sample, because of course you can use this to sample directly to the device itself. So if you want like to have like a sting or some kind of hook or whatever, you can just sample it and that's it. Maybe for some live performances it can be cool, because you can actually add this to the effects, like to the punch-in effects and everything. But other than that, it's a bit of a toy, a bit of a gimmick so far. Maybe my opinion will change in the future, but it's at least it's fun to have. And for now, because this is like the launch version, this is actually free. In the future, it's going to be paid. The other feature that this has is, like I've shown before, like you have 4 samples that you can change. You can actually change the samples, and you can trigger them using this button. So yeah, that's it. A cool thing is that this actually accepts customization. You can actually create JSON files in order to create new effects. It has like a bunch of effects that you can use. So you can create configuration files with your own effects and the way that you want the lever to act on these effects. Like all of that is actually pretty customizable. I'm hoping that the same type of customization can or will be applied to the full rhythm in terms of supertones. Like, for example, in order to create specific supertone patches, you could create like your own configuration files, maybe have like a separate supertone patch creator or something like that. That would be pretty cool, but for now it's just the TingFX, and that's it's actually pretty cool because as you can see here, and as I've shown in the previous previously in the video, it actually has like a USB port right here. It has like a 1 megabyte of memory, so it's really small. You cannot upgrade it, but it's enough for 4 samples basically. So that's it. I've actually gone ahead and talked for much longer than I wanted to. I didn't want this to become like a really long video, but I guess this is where we are. This is just my first impressions, and let me know if you have one, what you thought about it. If you have some kind of recommendations, any kind of feedback for me, tips or tricks for this device or the TingFX, let me know in the comments, and just have a good one. Keep having fun, keep making music, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, be good.